Okay, fourth grade mathematicians, it is Wednesday. We're on lesson 32 in module 3, and we're moving on with our learning. Today we're doing word problems with divisors of 6, 7, 8, and 9, which should be no problem for you. All we have to do is do some skip counting and follow our understand, plan, solve, and check. It is Wednesday, so it's weird but true Wednesday. So here's your fact. Ketchup was originally sold as medicine. I need to do some more research on that. I did not know that, but can you imagine being sick and they're like, here, have some ketchup. It'll all be better later. All right, let's take a look at our first problem. We all know there are 7 days in a week. How many weeks are in 259 days? I'm going to get this smaller because we know that with UPS check, first we need to understand. So I'm going to click up here and really think about this. We all know there are 7 days in a week. How many weeks are in 259 days? So I'm going to highlight, whoa there. I am going to highlight my question in yellow to start breaking this down. How many weeks are in 259 days? There are 7 days in a week. So I feel like it's wanting me to know how many, or asking me how many groups of 7 are in 259. And if I'm trying to find out how many groups of 7 are in 259, then I'm going to divide. Let's take a look at this quick video I made to show you how to attack the problem. Okay, fourth graders, I know we already broke the problem down and we started to make a plan, and we know that we need to divide. So I have on my board here where I set up kind of our 259, right? And I know there are 7 days in a week. So I know how many groups of weeks that is. So I know that I'm going to divide the 259 divided by 7. If you draw a different picture to help you out, that's fine too. All right, so let's work this out. I'm dividing. So remember, dad, mom, sister, brother, Rover. We're going to go through those steps. So I'm looking right here, and I cover everything up, and I have 7, and I'm skip counting by 7, and I want to hit 2 without going over. Can I do that? No, I can't do that, right? Because this number 7 is greater than the 2. So I can put a 0 up here because it'll go 0 times. If you want to do that for a placeholder, I'll go ahead and do that. But we know a 0 always looks funny at the front of a number, so I wouldn't leave it up there in the answer at the end. But I have this, so what do? I cover another number. 7 into 25. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip count by our star of the show, which is 7, until I hit the 25. So let's do that together. Ready? 7, 14, 21, 28. Oh, I went too far. So if you notice today when we're dividing by the 6, 7, 8, and 9, if this gets hard for you, here's a strategy you can do. On the side of the board, you can start skip counting by your 7s. 7, and then you can go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm just counting up 7 each time. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I can keep going down the side, and I can list all my 7s out so I can use it in another problem later if I want to, if I'm struggling a little with my 7 facts. But we can see that as close as we got is 21, and that was 3 groups of 7. That was 7, 14, 21. So what's on our fingers goes up. That's 3. That's going to go above the 25. And what we say out loud, which was 21, is going to go down below, because what you're doing is you're multiplying there. You just multiplied the 3 times 7 to get the 21. So you did dad, which was 25 divided by 7, dividing. You got your 3. You multiplied 3 times 7 and got the 21. Dad, mom. Now it's sister's turn. Sister is subtract. So you're going to subtract your 25 and your 21. So 2 minus 2 is 0. 5 minus 1 is 4. We'll put our 4 on there. So we did dad, mom, sister. Now we have brother. Brother's name is Kyle. Kyle comes in and boop, kicks the 4 over in front of the 9. So now instead of looking at 9, whoops, wrong way, we're looking at 49. Do you see how we kicked that over there? We kicked the 4, right, up here to make it 49. So this is the only one I have without an answer above it. So now I'm looking at 49, and I'm skip counting by 7. Well, since I started over here, I can just keep going. So I was at 21. So I'm doing my multiples of 7. I can count up 7 more. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. My next number will be 28. You see, that would be 7 times 4 is 28. And then I count up 7 more, and I'm at 35. I'm trying to get as close as I can at 49. So 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42. Ooh, I'm getting close. 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. I I hit 49. Now, if I want to know how many sevens that is, all I have to do is count down my multiples. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 7 is 49. So 49 divided by 7 is 7. And I got 49, so I can write it under there. I can subtract it, and it comes out to 0, so there's no remainder left over. So right now I have my answer as 37. To check that, I would take my 37 times 7. So off to the side, I'm going to go ahead and do that to make sure my answer is correct. So I take my quotient times my divisor. 7 times 7 is 49. I put my 9 down and regroup my 4. 7 times 3 is 21. I can't forget my bonus points. 2, 3, 4, 25, 259. So I got that in. That was my dividend right there. So the question was, we all know there are 7 days in a week. How many weeks are in 259 days? So if it starts with words, it needs to end in words. So I go back to that question again. How many weeks are in 259 days? Well, 37 weeks. I'm going to put my weeks up there. Make sure my words end it. And there I have it. It's a one-step division problem with 7 as my divisor.
All right, friends. Let's continue on. That was problem number 1. See, that wasn't so bad. Let's look at the next one on our problem set. It says everyone is given the same number of colored pencils in art class. If there are 249 colored pencils and 8 students, how many pencils does each student receive? So I'm going to start backwards again. I'm going to understand, and I am going to highlight the question again because that's really my focus point there. How many pencils does each student receive? So what do I need to know? Well, we start with 249, so this is an important number here. There are 249 colored pencils, so I'm going to go ahead and draw attention to that and put it in red for myself. If you were doing this on paper, you would be underlining it. And there are 8 students. So 8 students are supposed to get these 249 colored pencils. So if I think about passing out a bunch of pencils to 8 different students, I'm like, oh, I'm dividing 249 into 8 groups. So I understand what they're asking me for. They're asking me how many pencils does each student receive. I have a plan of division. Now let's watch and carry that out.
Okay, fourth graders, I know that we already have made a plan because UPS check. We understood, we started making a plan, and so I have it on our board here. We have our 249 colored pencils. We have our 8 students, which are represented by these 8 different boxes. So we know we need to divide to figure out how many colored pencils each student gets. So I went ahead and set up our division problem, and now it's time to solve and then check. I'm gonna cover this up, and I have 2 divided by 8. Right away, I know that I can't do this. This isn't possible because the 2 is less than the 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide my hand over and uncover one more number. So we're looking at 24. Now, when we divide 24 by 8, what we need to make sure we do is that we put the answer right above the 4 in 24, not above the 2, because we're not dividing into 2. We're taking 8 into 24. So what we do is we skip count by our star of the show. Our star of the show is the 8. So what I want to remind you, a strategy that we came up with is, since we're dealing with bigger numbers, is 6, 7, 8, and 9 today, you can go ahead and write down your multiples of 8 on your paper. That way it will help you with the other problems if you're dividing by 8. So I'm going to do that. Let's skip count by 8 until we hit 24. We'll go 8. If you don't know what comes next when skip counting by 8, you just simply 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. You count up 8 more. We're at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Hey, we hit that target right there. And I have this on my paper for later, should I need it. But let's see how many groups of 8 that is. 1, 2, 3. So 8 times 3 is 24. So 8 goes into 24 3 times. So I'm going to be very careful about where I put that 3. I put it right above the 4 in 24. Do you see that? It doesn't go above the 2 because it took it into 24, not 2. Now we just divided, that was dad. Now we're going to do mom, which is multiply, which is 3 times 8. And that's just what came out of your mouth when you were skip counting by the 8. So 8, 16, 24. What'd you say? 24. So what you say goes down below. So we're going to put it down below. It was mom. Now we're to sister. Sister is subtract. We're subtracting 24 minus 24. We know that's 0. After sister comes brother. Brother is Kyle. Brother goes to kick the 0. However, there's nothing there to kick. But if it makes you happy to put the 0 up there to keep the pattern the same, then you do you. put that 0 above the 9. Now, when I'm looking at my problem, I might be like, what do I do now? Kyle just kicked, I'm not sure. Well, we don't bring the dog until the end, so we don't need remainder or rover. We do need to make sure that when we do box method that we have an answer above every box. So what I want you to do right now is pay attention to this. Do I have an answer above every box? No, I do not. I do not have an answer above the 9 right here. So I know I need to go to my 9, and I still need to divide by my 8. So I'm skip counting from 8 until I get as close as I can to 9. So let's do that. Ready? 8. What'd you get? 1. What's on your finger goes up. So we put a 1 above the 9. And what did we say out loud? We said 8. 8 goes down below. So I'm going to put an 8 down here. That was you multiplying the 1 times the 8 to get 8. Now it's sister, so we subtract. 9 minus 8 equals 1. It's brother Kyle. Kyle comes to kick the 1, and there's nowhere to kick it to, over to the right. Kyle can't kick it, so who does he call? That's right, the dog, Rover. And Rover's like, yes, there is a remainder. There's 1 left over, so I'm going to put remainder 1 up on my line. So right now, what this quotient stands for is that each student is going to get 31 colored pencils, but there's going to be 1 left over. Do you think that would be okay in that situation? Yeah, to interpret this remainder, we wouldn't have to add it on. It's okay if there's a pencil left over, right? All right, but are we finished? No, we need to check our answer quickly. So we're going to go to our quotient, and we're going to multiply it by our divisor, and it should give us our dividend. Let's see if it does. So over to the side, I'm going to do 31 times 8. I'm going to do my little laser tag, start in the ones place. 8 times 1 is 8. Let's put that down. 8 times 3 is 24. So I'm going to put the 24 on the front of that. And I have to be very careful because if I start looking at this, I'm like, wait a minute, this is 24 or 248. This is 249. This does not match. But I forgot something. I had a remainder. So once I multiply to check my answer, I add my remainder on. So I have to add that remainder of 1. When I add that remainder of 1 on, I do get 249, and it should match right what's up there under your bracket, 249. That's how you know you're correct. Now, because our problem started with words, it ends with words. And we just said that our quotient represents how many colored pencils each student is getting. So behind this 31 remainder 1, I'm running out of room there, so I'll just write it down. 31, I'm going to ignore the remainder because I don't need to put 31 remainder 1 colored pencils because that doesn't really make sense. The question said, how many colored pencils does each student get? And each student is going to get 31 colored pencils. So in this problem, I would ignore the remainder and not add it on because it's not important. This is the exact answer, right? Even though we have the remainder 1 in our answer, it doesn't need to be told when we give our final answer because the question was, how many colored pencils per student?
All right, friends. That's a funny screen to end on. All right, let's look back at this. That's our second problem. If you notice, all we're doing is the division. We're just dividing by higher divisors today, and it's all one step word problems. What I want you to do right now, if this is becoming a lot for you, I want you to go ahead and pause the video. I want you to take a 15-minute brain break and then come back for this third and final problem before you work on your problem set. So pause this and go take a brain break. All right, I'm going to assume that you took that brain break and you're back for more and ready to go. Let's talk about Mr. Bennett, our PE teacher. He has 155 meters of volleyball netting. How many nets can he make if each court requires 9 meters of netting? So I'm going to do UPS check. So I'm going to understand first. I'm going to highlight my question so I can really focus in on that and I can come back to it at the end. How many nets? So how many nets can he make is what I want to know in the end. And it's telling me that each court requires 9 meters of netting. So I might even, oh, look at that. I got it brighter. I know that 9 meters of netting is important in there. So I am going to change that into red so that my eyes pay attention to that. Every time he makes a court, it takes 9 meters. We have 155 meters to start with. If each court needs 9, how many can he make? So how many groups of 9 will we have getting up to 155? And that will tell us how many courts. Let's see how we work this out.
Hey friends, this is our third and final problem that we're working out together. I know we already went through the understand and started to plan, and we decided that, yes, again, we need to divide. Today's skill is one-step division problems. So looking at this, up in the corner, I realized, Mr. Bennett had this problem he wants us to solve, our PE teacher, that he has the 155 meters of volleyball netting. He wants to know how many nets he can make if each court requires 9 meters of the netting. So I know we're not breaking it like into 9 parts, so I didn't put the 9 parts on here, but each net requires 9 meters of netting. So we need to know how many courts he can make for you guys to play volleyball in PE class. So let's solve this problem for Mr. Bennett. We set up our division problem. We have our larger number under the bracket. It's our dividend. Here's our divisor, the star of the show that we're counting by. So we're counting by 9s. Remember, we can record what we come up with when we're skip counting by 9 on the side, so we can use it later should it come up in another problem. That's a skill you can use all the time, test taking, whenever. All right, ready? So I'm covering up. Can I skip count from 9 and hit 1? I can't do that. 1 is less than 9, so I can't do that problem. It would be 0. So I'm just going to scooch over, and I'm now looking at 15. I just have to make sure that when I divide 15 divided by 9, that I put my answer above the 5, because I'm not taking it into 1, I'm taking it into 15. So let's skip count from 9 to 15, shall we? 9, 18, too far. Let's try that again. 9, okay. What do we have on our fingers? How many groups? 1 group. So we're going to put it up there. 9 goes into 15 one time. We just divided. That was Dad. Now we do Mom, which is multiply, which is what we said out loud. So when we did that, we said 9. So 9 came out. 9 goes below. That was multiplying. We got that because we multiplied the 1 times the 9 is 9. Now we're sister. Sister is subtract. 15 minus 9. I like to, when I subtract a lot of times, just count up. So I can count up from 9 to 15. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I got 6, right? So I put a 6 down. Now, whoa, that's a lot left over, isn't it? All right. Now here comes brother, because we just did sister subtract. Brother Kyle. Kyle kicks it. The 6 lands in front of the 5. And instead of dividing 5 divided by 9, we're now looking at 65 divided by 9. Meaning we're going to skip count from 9 to 65, right? If many of you know the 9 trick, you could possibly use it backwards, but I don't want to confuse you, so we'll just start the skip counting here, okay? So let's put it up on the corner. Here we go. 9, 18, right? What is 9 more? 27, 36. Stay with me. 37, 38, 39, 44, 45. 9 more than that would be 54. 63. I probably can't go any further than that, can I? And remember, if you leave this on your paper and there's another problem with 9 as a divisor, you can just use it later. Beautiful trick. All right, ready? Let's count how many groups of 9 that is that got to 63. We know we can't go any higher than that. So that's as close as we're going to get to our target of 65. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know that 9 times 7 is 63. So 65 divided by 9 is 7. That's 7 groups of 9. Then we multiply Mom. 9 times 7, that's what we said out loud, or what we have right here, which is 63. So we put that below. We subtract 65 minus 63, we get 2. So our answer is 17 remainder 2. So our question was how many nets that Mr. Bennett could make, right? How many nets can he make if each court requires 9 meters of netting? So think about, would we say 17 remainder 2? Does he need to know that remainder right now, or does he just want to know how many nets we can make? Yeah, so we would ignore the remainder and we would say 17 nets. But we're not finished because we want to make sure that our answer is correct. So we need to take our quotient times our divisor. I'm going to put out to the side 17 times 9. And we know that 9 times 7, we just did it over here, remember, is 63. So we're going to put down our, I'm going to get my board straightened out here. There we go. Put down our 3, regroup our 6, done with the 7. 9 times 1 is 9. Add your bonus points, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 153. Don't forget to add your remainder of 2. 155. It should match your dividend, and it does. So instead of saying...
Okay, friends, here's what I want you to do right now. Now is a good time for you to go and try out your problem set. So I want you to do lesson 32. on your problem set in your workbook. I want you to do questions 1 through 5. And then you're going to come back here and check with me. So right now you are pausing. You're going to do the problem set. There's 5 problems in the problem set. It is lesson 32. You need to find it in your workbook and then come back and unpause for the answers. All right, I'm going to assume that you are ready for the problem set answers. So here they come. Your 5 answers for your problem set. Number 1 was 31 seats in each section. Number 2 is 79, remainder 8. So the baker got 8 bagels because the question there was really asking about the remainder in that one. So you wouldn't say your answer was 79. Your answer is actually 8. Number 3 is 87, remainder 5. So they filled 87 bags of candy and 5 pieces were left. Number 4 was 150 teams were made. 4 children served as referees. Number 5, there are 1,014 kilograms of rice and 6 sacks of rice, and there are 5 kilograms remaining. So I think the lesson in this one is you really need to go back to the question to pay attention what it's asking for, so you know which part of your answer is your answer. Is it the quotient you got? Is it the remainder part of the quotient? So you really need to pay attention to that. If you struggled on the problem set, now is the time where you're going to reach out to your teacher because today's math activity is a CFA. It's a score, it's grade. So you need to stop and reach out to your teacher if you struggled with this skill today. If not, I'm going to go ahead and show you. This is actually one of the problems on today's CFA, but I pulled this up so you can know what to do. So we are getting several students still not turning in their work for this. You can't just type a number in on the slide and rock on. We need you to take a picture of yourself. We need you to insert a picture of yourself with your work. So you're going to be working in a pen on a piece of paper. And I'm just going to hold up a book for myself, but pay attention. I'm going to go to insert. I am going to go to image. I'm going to go, insert. I'm having some trouble here, aren't I? Image. I'm going to go down to my camera. Hey there. I'm going to hold up my work. So you would hold up, this is a book I'm reading, but you would hold it up right in the middle, nice and clear. You would make sure that you can see it good. Get a parent to help if you need to. You would write it in pen. That way your teacher can see your answer. You click the camera, and then all you have to do is click insert. And it inserts it right here. You can drag it, put it right in the middle. So everyone's slides should have their pictures on them today of their work. All right, friends, you've got this. Can't wait to see all your wonderful thinking on these word problems. Get to it.